This is a book pull summary of the book The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Habits have a profound impact on our lives and are deeply rooted in our brains and minds. Though these habits may simplify our lives, they can also lead to serious problems and even cause fatalities. Welcome to the channel. Today we'll discuss Charles Duhigg's book The Power of Habit, what habits really are, how we can break bad habits, and lots more, so stay tuned so you don't miss out. Before we get into the video, please hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications of when we post. If you've done that, let's get into the video. Understanding how your habits work is definitely the first method to break the power of your habits. Charles Duhigg says more in his book Power of Habits, so let's get straight into it. Number 1. Habits are simple cue routine reward loops that save effort. According to a Duke University researcher's article from 2006, up to 40% of the activities we take every day are based on habit. The practice of chunking, or putting a sequence of actions into an automatic routine, is the foundation to forming a habit. It enables the brain to conserve energy while effectively completing routine tasks. Any habit can be divided into a loop with 3 parts. First, your brain activity increases when you detect an external cue, such as the sound of your alarm clock. You then follow the routine or actions your brain is accustomed to taking in response to the specific stimulus. And lastly, you receive a reward, a sense of accomplishment. The solidity of habits is extraordinary. It's possible for someone with a severe brain injury to maintain their former patterns in some circumstances. This resilience, however, means that if you manage to break a terrible habit, like smoking, you may always be in danger of returning. Number 2. Habits stick because they create craving. It might be challenging to break a bad habit because you start to crave the reward at the conclusion of the habit cycle. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz's 1990s research demonstrates how this operates in the brain. When Julio, a macaque monkey, was acquiring new skills, Schultz observed his brain activity. Every time Julio noticed shapes on a screen, he needed to pull a lever in exchange for a drop of blackberry juice. When Julio understood the relationship between seeing the shapes, pulling the lever, and receiving the juice, Wolfram discovered that his brain activity increased every time he saw the shapes, much like when he actually received a reward. His mind started to think about the payoff. These expectations lie within the neutral root of hunger, which also explains why habits are so powerful. The good news is that cravings can help people create healthy habits. Given the importance of habits, it is not surprising that businesses put a lot of effort into helping customers develop these needs. After failing in its launch of numerous other toothpaste products, Pepsodent toothpaste founder Claude Hopkins pioneered this strategy. He gave us a reward that made us want more, the cool, tingling sensation we've grown to associate with toothpaste. In the minds of customers, that sensation not only confirmed that the product worked, but also turned into a material reward that they started to yearn for. Number 3. To change a habit, substitute the routine for another and believe in the change. The golden key to breaking any habit is to refocus your urge rather than trying to fight it. Numerous studies on ex-smokers have revealed that the likelihood of remaining smoke-free significantly increases by identifying those cues and rewards associated with their smoking habit and substituting them with behaviours that have a similar reward, such as performing push-ups, consuming a piece of Nicorette, or simply relaxing for a short time. Alcoholics Anonymous employed the strategy by having individuals make a list of their specific drinking cravings. Then they offer fresh routines to deal with these urges. Now, while the habit replacement strategy worked beautifully, when a stressful incident occurred, regardless of how long the respondent had been in the program, the old habit was simply too strong to resist, according to a team of researchers from California's Alcohol Research Group in the early 2000s. Further study has revealed that those who avoided relapse and maintained sobriety frequently relied on faith. Participants who believe in God are also more likely to believe in their own ability to change, which makes them more resilient to difficult life circumstances. Number 4. Change can be achieved by focusing on keystone habits and achieving small wins. Investors had their doubts when Paul O'Neill took over as CEO of Alcoa in 1987. Despite his pledges to put employee safety first, he came to the conclusion that altering the organisation's routines was necessary to change its course. Some behaviours are more significant than others because they have good consequences that spread to other areas when they are followed. These practices are called keystone behaviours. Creating a keystone habit encourages you to think that change is feasible in other areas of your life as well, which can result in a chain reaction of beneficial transformation. Number 5. Willpower is the most important keystone habit. In the many facets of life, having strong willpower is a crucial habit. But it may also be used in other areas. Because it works like a muscle, willpower can soon get exhausted. However, you can actually improve your willpower by adopting routines that calls for resolution. Starbucks, for instance, discovered that baristas could generate the willpower to stick to the plan even while under duress if they psychologically prepared for unfavourable events. A lack of autonomy has been demonstrated to negatively impact willpower, according to other studies. People's willpower muscles become exhausted more quickly if they perform an action as a result of being forced to do so rather than out of their own free will. Number 6. Organisational habits can be dangerous, but a crisis can change them. A massive fireball burst into the ticket area of King's Cross Station in London in 1987. No one employee or department had overall responsibility for the safety of the passengers, despite the complex system of responsibility distribution in place. The majority of organisations are more like arenas of conflict, while people jostle for positions and reward. So we form certain habits, such as minding our own business in order to maintain harmony. But catastrophes can, however, have a positive effect, since they present a rare opportunity to change organisational habits by creating a feeling of urgency. Number 7. Companies take advantage of habits in their marketing. Marketers now have more subtle strategies for influencing consumer behaviour. For instance, shops position their most lucrative products to the right of the entry because most customers turn right intuitively when entering a store. The American retailer Target, which serves millions of customers annually and gathers gigabytes of data, is one of the great masters of this game. Prior to the baby's birth, Target hoped to attract expectant parents. It sought to ascertain the shopping preferences of expectant women in order to achieve this. Target's research was so successful that it even targeted a pregnant teen girl who hadn't yet even informed her family. Companies will attempt to make anything new look familiar while trying to sell it. For instance, radio DJs can ensure the success of a new song by sandwiching it between two already successful tracks. If new behaviours or items don't look novel, they are much more likely to be accepted. Target received a lot of criticism for its intrusive marketing strategy, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a huge success. The company's revenues increased from $44 billion in 2002 to $65 billion in 2009, mostly as a result of its work with pregnant women as a target market. Number 8. Movements are born from strong ties, peer pressure, and new habits. In Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, a black woman by the name of Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat to a white man. Following her arrest and subsequent charges, she became a civil rights icon as a result of what happened. For the same reason, numerous others were detained. So why did Parks' arrest lead to a bus boycott that lasted more than a year? Parks possessed what sociologists refer to as strong links, or close personal interactions with a wide range of members of a community's many social strata. These connections did not just get her out of jail, they also got the word out about her arrest through Montgomery's social classes, which led to the bus boycott. But a prolonged boycott could not have been supported by only her friends. Peer pressure comes in. Social circles also include weak links, which are acquaintances rather than friends, in addition to strong ties. Peer pressure typically manifests itself through flimsy connections. It is more difficult to reject a movement when a person's greater circle of friends and acquaintances supports it. After enthusiasm for the boycott started to wane, a final element was added. A lecture by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. urging non-violence and urging people to love and forgive their oppressors. People started developing new behaviours as a result of this message. They gave the movement a driving power of its own. Number 9. We bear the responsibility for changing our habits. In his sleep, Brian Thomas murdered his wife in 2008 by strangling her. His justification was that he was having what medical professionals call sleep terrors. Angie Bachman was being sued by Hara at the same time for gambling debts. It wasn't me, both of them might have argued. I did it out of habit. So why was just one of them exonerated? This is because it becomes our obligation to address and change any negative habits we become aware of. Thomas was unaware that he might inflict harm while sleeping, but Bachman, however, was aware of her gambling addiction and could have opted out of Harrah's offers by signing up for a program that would have prevented gambling organisations from approaching her with marketing materials. What's your most important key takeaway? Please comment down below and share the video if you like it. Thank you, and until next time.